100 years ago, a man was reading the newspaper, and to his horror and surprise, he found his obituary in there. He said, what the hell is going on? Obviously, the newspaper made a mistake. And not the first time, Krishwan Singh's, the famous obit was published. So this man, when he recovered from his shock, he wanted to know what the obit actually said about him. And the obit said that he is a merchant of death. Dynamite king dies. And he thought to himself that when I die, if this is how people are going to remember me, then that is very unfortunate. Merchant of death. Because this man was the inventor of dynamite. And he didn't want to be remembered that way. He wanted to be remembered as a man of peace. And so, he dedicated all his money to set up a foundation. And as you all know who I'm talking about, the person is Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite and the famous Nobel Prize in peace and chemistry and physics and so on. When my committee and I took over in July last year, we were wondering how you, the club, the members, would remember the term July to August 2015. And we also wondered, 6 months, as Bosco said, is such a short time. Will we get any work done in these 6 months? I was told 6 months is a short time. Don't try to steer the ship in any direction and all kinds of advice and all. But we wanted to do something tangible. And I'm really happy to note and to tell you that we achieved a lot. Our priority was to set in place processes on how speaking slots are fixed, processes on how members can view agendas, processes on club finances and all that. And I think to a very large extent, if you're a dispassionate follower of the club, you would agree with me that to a very large extent we agreed, or we succeeded in laying that foundation for the club to be stronger and more efficient in future. How do we do that? The first thing we tackled was the club website. If you had seen the club website 7 months ago, it looked very different from what it is now. Any person who comes to the city and wants to join a Toastmaster club would Google Bangalore and Toastmasters. And the first thing he's going to see is our website. And 7 months ago, the website did not really give you any contact person, who is the president of the club, and so on. Today, we've overhauled it completely. If anybody wants to get in touch with anyone in the club, they can easily do that. If any member wants to know the agenda for next week, the week after that, the week after that, he or she can find it there. If any member wants a speaking slot, and that's a huge challenge for a club like ours, where we have more than 60 members, or any member wants a role as a grammarian or a timer or a GE, all that he or she has to do now is to go to the website and book his or her slot. I think that's a tremendous achievement. How do we know that? Because in the 6 months, in the past 5 months alone, after the website was launched, we've got more than 5,000 unique visitors to the website. Which means on an average, 1,000 people are clicking onto the website. And that augurs well for our club, which is now in its 20th year, and that is no mean achievement. We wanted to grow from strength to strength, and I think we've laid the foundation for that to happen. I remember asking my committee, we need to do something about it, and the VPPR, Mahavi Jain, jumped to the challenge, and he did it. He did it in about 3 weeks' time. And he did it because he had the able assistance of someone who is not even a member of the committee, Prakash Tamankar. I don't know how many of you recall me putting up a message on WhatsApp saying we need to do something about the website. Unfortunately, I got no response except from Prakash. And he took it upon himself to spend time and to get that done. And that's what Toastmasters are all about. When you join this club, whether as a speaker or as a leader, if you want to grow as a speaker or leader, the more you give, the more you grow. You ask any of the old members, and that is so true. And that's what Prakash did. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for these two sterling Toastmasters of our club. The second thing we tackled was finance. Friends, as you all know, we need to be transparent about finance. You pay the money, you need to know where the money is going to. And as I keep saying, the more transparent you are, the more credible you are. So far, the custom has been that when the committee finishes, they would present the accounts. But we wanted to take a step further. What we have done is, we thought the website is a great place to tell you our revenue for our month, our expense for the month, and the cash balance. It's only visible to the members. So if you go there, you can see every month where we're getting our revenue from, where the money is going to, and what's our cash balance. We will get stronger if the subsequent committees follow this practice. It's one thing to start, but it's another thing to continue with this practice. And I think that's the culture we need to pass on to future committees. We also regularize our relationship with our bank. The last 4 years, no one had visited the bank, and they did not know who the treasurer of the club was. And I thought the VP Finance, Varun Dev, did a tremendous job spending time, going to the club, getting all the bank documents in order. Please put your hands together for Varun Dev. For Prakash, once again, for helping coordinate putting those finances on the website. Thank you, Prakash. If you notice the quality of the minutes, our quality of minutes have been good, but it got even better in the last 6 months. We produced timely and quality minutes. Speakers by Sunday evening or Monday morning can see their performance, their videos on the website. That is so important for you to grow. There's one thing for you to speak here, but you really grow when you see your performance. Not just the prepared speakers, even the table topic speakers. Sometimes you'll have 15 members. And our wonderful secretary, Nisha Balakrishnan, is not here. She spent all her Sundays doing this. That's an incredible devotion to the responsibility that she's taken. Friends, please give Nisha Balakrishnan a huge round of applause. Within 6 weeks of our committee taking over last term, we had almost 30 speech crafters. We spent all our coffee breaks here evangelizing about speechcraft because we desperately needed the funds to keep the club alive. 30 of them within 6 weeks we took over. A huge thanks to VP membership, Sahil Jain, who's not here today. He did a huge amount of work to get this done. A lot of mails, a lot of phone calls, a lot of moving around, talking to people. A huge thanks to Joseph Das, our VP Education of last term, for helping out with the venue. And equally, a huge thank you for the coordinators. Karunakar Dev, who was the Sergeant at Arms who coordinated the first Speechcraft, Varun Dev, the VP Finance, for taking the lead for the second Speechcraft, and all the other coordinators, Sahil, Ashwathi, Prakash, Sanjana, and of course, this wouldn't have been a success without our own members who came there to give education sessions. John Bosco Abraham, Sanjay Hassa, Godfrey Sones, Sumitra Manohan, Payal. Thank you all. Please give everyone a huge round. No matter how much automation you bring in by way of upgrading the website for the smooth functioning of the club, you need real people with real touch. Because ultimately, communication at clubs is all about people, it's about relationships. And that was provided by the real backbone of the last term, our ever active, the Mr. Positive of the club, the former VP head of our club, Joseph Das. Joseph worked tirelessly reaching out to all members. No member can say that Joseph did not get in touch with him or her. There were times when he would call several times. Of course, when people say, look, I'm busy for the next 3 months, you don't expect him to call again for the next 3 months, right? But he worked tirelessly to get role takers, to get people to our club. And that requires a lot of effort and a lot of time. It wasn't easy, but you made it look so easy. You did it so well. And then when you come to the meeting, we published certain books. Let me just show you this. We've got a lot of new members who have no idea what a grammarian's role is, what an R counter's role is, what a timer's role is. So we've got these books for a grammarian, for the R counter. You open any page, you've got a little write-up there of what your role is. You put your date there, put the meeting number, and you record whatever your observations are. This will last for the next 5 years. We've ensured that. And there is a certain sense of, at any time, you want to have a look at it. What happened in the 1000th meeting? What happened in that 900th meeting? Just flip the page and have a look at it. It's history in the making, and we're recording it here. Thank you so much for Varun, for Karunakar, for Mahavir, for making this happen. Thank you so much. And of course, our opening batsman, the man who makes sure that when members come here, the venue is ready. He gave a rousing start at the start of every meeting. He did it so well, always with that enthusiasm and that smiling face. Our Sergeant at Arms, Karunakar Dev. This is getting a bit too long, but we achieved quite a bit. Now, listen to the real story. The net result of all this is what? It's a pretty good jump in our membership. When we came, it was around 56. Today, we're 71. The largest in the city. What does that show? We not only retained members as much as we could. There were several members like Anmol, past president, who said, look, I don't have the time. That's understandable. Every year, 30% of people around the world, Toastmasters, they don't renew their membership. But we retained as much as we could. And we got new members. At any point in time, if you see the number of guests who come in, they've averaged, I would think, about 15 every meeting. We managed to convert a lot of them to Speechcraft and to our members. And we are also one of the 2 clubs in the city in line for the Golden Gavel Award. If all goes well, we get that award yet again, which we won several times. We hope to get it back again. But our work is not done. We got still huge challenges left. We still have a lot of work on the website. One of the things we need to really showcase is the achievers of our club. On the communication side, on the leadership side. We've got people like Rajdeep Manwani and several others who've done well on the speaking side. John Bosco Abraham on the leadership side. People should know about it. We're 20 years. I think we are about, we need to have enough material to write the history of our club. And if people just go away, people will know who were the members of this club. We want to record these things. And we're going to do that over the next, in this term. The second thing we like to do is to stabilize our finances. If our revenue does not meet the cost, the club cannot run. It's that simple economics. We need to look at that over the next few weeks and think about whether our membership fee should be increased, by how much and so on. We're going to have a business meeting on that soon. And the event of the term, 1,000th meeting. That falls on April 1, if there is no cancellation of meetings before that. That's not an April Fool joke, it is for real. April 1, we're going to have 1,000th meeting. We want to do it in style. We've started thinking about it, and we would let you know more about this. If you have any ideas, we're open to your suggestions. Please let us know. So, as you can see, we made several changes. I know this is getting long. I'll finish in a minute. We made several changes over the last 6 months, and therefore the theme of this term is, guess what?
Change.
Experience the change, right? As I said, as Ralph Smedley said, our objective, the objective of any leadership team in a club, it's an opportunity for us to serve. And we hope we did that, and we will continue to do that over the next 6 months. So on this note, I'd like to welcome on stage the Toastmaster of the day. This person has had a checkered government service. He served as a civil judge, secretary to the Chief Justice, and several other positions before capping his illustrious career as the law secretary in the government of Karnataka. As you can see, he's worn several hats, but more importantly, he started this club. Please put your hands together for the founder president of the Bangalore Toastmaster Club, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Robinson D'Souza.